This is a very pertinent question to begin with. Now, see, when we are talking about the history, the peculiarity of this immigration problem in Assam began predominantly in the late 19th century. This was when the native people of Assam had started employing cheap labor from the surrounding regions, especially the region which is present day Bangladesh, East Bengal, to work in their farms and agricultural fields. This was the time after repeated incursions of the Burmese, because of the Burmese invasions in the northeast, especially Assam and Manipur. The invasions had thoroughly depopulated the region. Uh, but it was after the discovery of tea in Assam during the British period that tribes were brought in from the Chotanagpur, from the present day Chotanagpur Tetu region to work as laborers in the large British-owned tea estates. And gradually and slowly, migrants looking for job prospects in the oil fields of Assam, they were naturally attracted towards this region. The British, they were attracted more to the fertile riverine areas of the Brahmaputra River. They wanted to increase their agricultural productivity. But the people of Assam, they were not ready to work as servants of the British government at low wages. See, they were a proud people with a rich heritage and a rich ancestry. So they did not want to work as servants of a foreign government. So this was when the British government facilitated the immigration of a large number of landless Bengali Muslim peasants from the present day Singh region of Bangladesh to Assam. And these people from Singh, who came from Singh in Bangladesh, over a period of time in Assam, they came to be addressed as Singhiya Muslims. These people were extremely hardworking. They were ready to work for low wages, and therefore the British decided to use them as cheap labor for cultivation of the vast tracts of fertile agricultural land in the riverine areas of the Brahmaputra. Now, coming to the period from 1937 to 46, because certain important changes took place during this period when the Muslim League ministry was ruling in Assam at that time under the leadership of Muhammad Sadullah. This was the time when there was an extremely well planned and well coordinated effort, I would say, to encourage the migration, the wholesale migration of Bangladeshi Muslims into Assam, all with the objective of nourishing a vote bank, a political vote bank. Now, after 1947, that is after the partition, we all know about how the Assam-Bangladesh border is, how porous it is. So that porous border, as a result of that porous border, unabated migration of Bangladeshis continued after 1947 for the next several decades. Now, to deal with the situation of the ever increasing migrant population, in the 1940s, a demand came up to extend the ILP. ILP is the inner line permit system in the Assam plains as well, because by that time, this system, the ILP, was already in operation in the hill areas of the Northeast. By the hill areas of the Northeast, I mean the present day states of Nagaland, Meghalaya, Mizoram. Okay, so by that time, this inner line permit system, which restricted the entry of foreigners and outside immigrants, there was a demand to implement the system in Assam as well, because the ILP was considered, it was thought of as a solution, as a way to stop the immigration of Muslims into Assam. But the Central Congress leadership of that time, and as well as the Muslim League, they did not support this proposal for obvious reasons. And the Muslim League was vehemently opposed to it. It even went to the extent of threatening to organize a mass civil disobedience against any attempt to impose ILP or any other such system in the plain areas of Assam. So ILP remained a non-starter in Assam. Although the hills of the northeast enjoyed the protection of the resources being offered to them under the ILP system, but of course it came at the cost of their dharmic faiths and belief systems, which were gradually subsumed by Christianity. But that is a different debate altogether. I wouldn't go into that right now. Now, coming to the period after the partition. So, during the period of Muhammad Sadullah, the Muslim League Ministry in Assam, which I just mentioned, there was an attempt to increase the migration of Muslims, and it was done deliberately. Now, after partition till 1971, so this is the period from 1947 to 1971, till the time Bangladesh was created as a separate nation. This was the period from 1947 to 1971 when Assam saw two big waves of refugee influx, a continuous stream of politically victimized minorities, and these were majority of these minorities were the Bengali speaking Hindu refugees from East Pakistan. They were the victims of political and religious persecution in Bangladesh. They were coming and settling down in the Brahmaputra Valley, and on the other hand, there were the Muslim migrants from East Pakistan. These were the land hungry peasants and cultivators about whom I have already mentioned. But by now, by the late 1960s and the early 1970s, a deep sense of insecurity had come to prevail among the common public of Assam because the demographic change was alarming. The threat to their culture, the threat to their language, the shrinking resources of the state, all this was imminent. In fact, the issue of immigration has been a deeply complex and sensitive one, for that matter, in the identity politics of Assam. Every single election in the state since 1947, every single election in the state has been fought around the issue of immigration. But at least till 2016, not a single government after winning the elections, they bothered to undertake any strong political measure to address this problem. So it eventually culminated in one of the largest public mobilizations, that is the Assam movement, one of the largest public mobilizations in post-independent India. The Assam movement was led by the All Assam Students Union, ASU for short. It began from the Mangaldoy Lok Sabha constituency in 1979. And in this constituency, from where the movement began, about 15% more people were miraculously reported to have appeared in the electoral rolls almost overnight. And the agitators of the ASU, the All Assam Students Union, despite their strong demand to undertake a full-fledged revision of the electoral rolls before conducting any elections in the state, the Congress party went ahead with the assembly elections. And so this was the assembly elections of 1980. So without correcting the electoral rolls, without undertaking any revision, the Congress party went ahead with conducting the assembly elections of 1980. There was this Muslim lady, I remember, Anwara Taimur. She was elected as the first woman chief minister of Assam, who held the office for a very short period of time from 1980 to 1981. But the volatile socio-political situation that Assam was going through at that time, the choice of this Muslim lady, Anwara Taimur, as the chief minister on the part of the Congress party was a strategic decision. And it was from this time onwards that the Congress came to be identified as an all-time appeaser of the Muslim vote bank in Assam. So the message was clear from the Congress party. The Muslim vote bank in Assam would continue to be nurtured and protected, and we are not going to compromise it under any eventuality. And this lady, Anwara Taimur, she was elected to the State Legislative Assembly of Assam from this place called Dolgaon. Dolgaon is a constituency in the Dorong district of Lower Assam, which was at that time, and in fact, it still is. It is heavily dominated by Bangladeshi immigrants. A few years back, I remember there is this senior advocate of the Supreme Court of India, Upamanyu Hazarika, who had mentioned that there exist numerous villages in this particular district, Dorong district, where the Muslim immigrants not only outnumber the native Assamese people, but the native people have been pushed into they have almost been eliminated, and they live in ghetto-like dwellings in their own ancestral lands. He had mentioned it himself. Even when we look at the census data of 2011, there was a steep rise in the immigrant population in several districts of Assam. And these are the districts which are the border districts bordering Bangladesh. Muslims constituted almost more than 30%. I think 30.9% of the population in the census of 2001, but their share in the total population of the state jumped to 34.2% in the census of 2011. There was a report, this report was titled Illegal Immigration into Assam, which was submitted to the then President of India, K.R. Narayanan, by the then Governor of Assam, retired S.K. Sinha, in 1998, which clearly showed that the Muslim population of Assam had risen by more than 77% in 1991 from what it was in 1971. But comparatively, in the same period, the Hindu population had risen by a mere 41.8%. So there has been a continuous decline in the Hindu population in Assam, and this is not due to any out-migration of Hindus from Assam, and also it does not imply a decline in their numerical strength as far as I have understood, but this decline in the population of the Hindus has been mainly due to the addition and influx of a huge number of immigrant Muslims into the state.